What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Authentic Journey podcast. I'm excited to introduce our guest for today, Nadi Moss.
Hello, hello, Ben.
What's up, Nadi?
Everything is good. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know you've been sharing with me a lot lately about working and staying on your sobriety journey. How's that going for you?
That's going amazing. It's going very excited. As you know about my journey, it was a year when I'm completely sober, and I noticed so many beautiful changes about myself, and that's inspired me actually to write the book. Even to help other people to show them that it's not only one way how they can live their life, and that the emotional sobriety it's another choice of living, how it's possible to live. Yeah.
And what are some of the greatest changes you've been able to make?
Oh, first of all, I look much better. And but to be honest, to be serious, it's about like mental health, like my mood become much more stabilized, much more better. I stop overthinking. I start paranoid, and I'm making new friends in such a different level. It's not about the quantity right now; it's about the quality. Maybe even I have less friends than before in my night party lifestyle scene, but now it's such a beautiful. I mean, at that time also was a beautiful souls. Don't get me wrong, but now it's people who inspire me to become even better, to grow, and to create something really meaningful. Like right now, we're doing the podcast with you, and it's if someone gonna tell me a year ago that I will participate on the podcast and will share about my sober journey, I will just say, "Oh, about what are you talking about?" Like, no, I couldn't see myself at this point, and it just sobriety showed me how many beautiful layers inside me, and it's opening, continue to open every day, every week, and was so mesmerized and surprised, like, wow, how many how many beautiful things inside me, and I would love to show it other people because we live in Los Angeles where drugs just over everywhere, drugs, alcohol, and it's just like easy to get. And I know how many people struggle with that. They wish they could stop it, but at the same time, there is only way for exist, to numb themselves because they struggle, they have so many challenges, and just easy to numb themselves. I was at the same position, but then I went through a lot of transformations, through a lot of changes. And that's why I feel like it's my mission right now to share this with other people, with the world. And I hope it could inspire even one person. That will be amazing.
It will be amazing.
Yeah.
What do you feel like you would use alcohol for, like to numb?
Sorry again?
Like, what would alcohol be numbing? Like, you view alcohol as something to.
So me and alcohol, it's I would say I don't drink for 9 years, so it's a little bit hard for me to tell you right now. But I would say when I did drink alcohol, when I did that, but I was much younger, I was like 25, 26, and I would say it was like just a lifestyle. But again, then I did so many uncontrolled things, like wrote some texts which I'm maybe not supposed to people that I don't need to, and just it was fun, but at the same time, all these hangovers. So when I talk about sobriety, it's more about the substances, like it's not more, it's about drugs,
About
So
drugs?
I would say it's more serious maybe, so yeah, so me and alcohol, it was a long story ago, like 9 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your story kind of, and drugs is more recent for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My story with drugs is very recent story, and it just happened when I moved here to United States 9 years ago. It just happened, I got to this night party scene environment, and then I became a very famous event producer for big events, and everything, all of this stuff, substances were around. But again, it was my choice. I have friends who were in this environment and they didn't do drugs. This is always a choice. But my choice was like, I feel great. I can control myself and everything, and that's not a problem. This is my choice, and I can handle it. And it was a very glamorous, fun life at that time. I don't regret this. I'm happy that I had this in my late 20s, early 30s. Now I'm 36, and my decision to become sober when I was 35. So I'm glad that I went through that experience. I know how was it, and now I have another purpose in my life. And but for the last 6 months, and I wrote about this in my book, that for the last 6 months I start numbing myself every day. I start doing drugs every day, and not because of the fun, but because of not very good life. And I just want really to numb myself. I didn't want to feel anything, but actually it's become worse and worse. I start paranoid. I start to be very angry to people. I was in this victim mode, like this is all their fault. I'm great. Even my close friends, she started asking me, like, when the last time did you do drugs? I'm like, 2 days ago, but it's not a problem. And she said, maybe you need to think to stop doing that. And I said, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I got to that point when I thought everything is fine, but actually everything started fall apart. And then, if you're gonna ask me how I make this decision, I don't know. But I guess just because I just stop respect myself, and respect for me is one of the most important thing. You don't need to be rich, but you can be a good person. You can do good things, and I will respect you for that. So, myself, I was not already successful in my career. I didn't look good. I didn't have any healthy routine, like I just slept as much as I want, like I didn't do any sports. It's just like a living, like I didn't have any future. I didn't know what to do. And then I just decided, okay, I can't do this anymore. And just magically happened that I started doing my journey. To be honest, I thought it's just going to be a break for 1 month, and then I'm just going to make it less. But 1 month, then another week, and then I'm like, oh, actually, I like it. I like how I feel. I feel so good. And again, that's about my book, Emotional Sobriety. To quit the drugs, it was the easiest part. The most difficult part is to stay. That's why my book calls Staying, because it's about the staying with yourself, with real you, with your feelings, with your doubts, with with all your thoughts, which sometimes tell you you're not good enough, back to your lifestyle, it's much more fun, you're not fun right now, why are you doing that? So I went through this through the whole or during the whole year, and that's about what I would like to share with the world.
What do you feel like was a moment for you that was a real inflection point in you deciding, hey, I need to get sober. I need to choose me.
Right. I remember this moment. So I went to one of the places where I usually went on Friday night. It was a very artistic place, people hanging out there. And I was sitting in the corner of the couch, and people who were a little bit far from me, they were talking about something, they were laughing, and I was pretty much confident they were talking about me, and like they're laughing about me. And then I start to paranoid, like I had a really huge paranoia about that. Ooh, these people talking about me, they don't like me, like I'm gonna just go right now and ask them what's going on. Again, this passive, and I already of course was on coke, it's Friday night, like why not? And I just came over to them. I'm like, hey guys, are you talking about me? And like, what? Like, no, we're talking about this and that. I'm like, no, I know you're talking about me. Like it was horrible. I put in myself in such a bad position. I look so miserable, and they're like, and they told me, Nadi, stop doing drugs. I'm like, it's not about drugs. Like I know, like it was crazy, and I felt at that time, at that moment, I felt like they are bullshitting. Like I'm right, they are wrong. It was like a huge scandal, and I knew that people, and they said, Nadi, you're just crazy. You just need to stop doing drugs. And I said, don't tell me what to do. Like I'm fine. And then I had some kind of these situations few more times. And then again, as I told you, I lost my career, I lost my money, and I didn't know what is the next. And so it's just in some point, again, magically, I realized that, okay, I can't do this anymore. And just somehow it pop up in my Instagram right before Christmas, all these vision boards, like people do put these pictures, how they see their life in the next year. And I always was thinking, it's like a bullshit. It's too girly. It's not for me. I'm a strong Russian woman. I don't need to do that. But but I was so lost. Hey, sure, let's do it. Why not? And I took it very serious, I guess, because I was so lost and I didn't have any hope. By the way, my full name Nadezhda means hope in Russia, in English, and hope. And I'm like, okay, there's no more hope. Let me just do whatever I can. And it took for me a week, almost like 10 days, to create my vision board. And I just imagine how I would like to see my life in the next year. I put like friends with the girls, like beautiful body, successful career as a photographer. I even put it myself on the stage when I speak on a microphone. I even didn't know about what I'm gonna talk, but I just imagined that I guess I'm gonna tell something about something interesting to people, and like healthy relationships, like, and a lot of another beautiful stuff. And then I look at this vision board and I'm like, okay, does it align with my lifestyle, which I have right now? Sleepless nights, drugs again, like all this useless, not very meaningful conversations. And I'm like, no, it's not aligned, like at all. And to be honest, I know maybe it sounds very silly, but this vision board was one of the first start point when I realized, okay, like let me make a break from drugs. Let me start to try to be sober. And since January 1st, 2025, I started my sober journey. And as I told you before, after a month, I thought, okay, let me do it longer. I kind of like it. But the lifestyle completely changed. I lost everyone that I had for 8 years, but I would say I didn't lose them. I just cut myself from them. It was very intentional decision. Like I wanted to make it happen. Yeah, because uh, when you want to change yourself, it means you're gonna say a lot of goodbyes, and that's the reality. And a lot of people, they're not ready for that. That's why it's so hard for them to quit their addictions, alcohol, drugs, or any others, because you're going to change the whole life. It's the package. You can go to the gym every day and then on the weekend do drugs. It's every day. It's like a muscle. You work on your muscle. You want to make a muscle in your body. It's the same. You do emotional muscle, mental muscle. So it's the whole package. And I did that. I changed the whole package. Yeah.
So what does Nadi's vision board look like now?
Actually, I still right now I didn't make it for this new year. I just didn't have a time, but that's my plan to actually make it this week. But I can tell you briefly, still I see myself, one of my goal, I see myself as a motivational public speaker. I see myself on the stage, but right now, not because I do it from my ego to get the instant gratification, but because from my soul, because I feel like I went through a lot. I'm still going through a lot, we're all human being. Yeah, but I went already through a lot, and I did so many changes, and I feel like I that's my mission. There's no other things to do for me. I like to do my photography. I like to curate and produce events, but I feel like I can help people. So this is one of the things that I see on my vision board, to be in the stage and talk in the big audience and help people, inspire them, show how many beautiful layers they have, you know. And also, and create the podcast, my own podcast, invite people, the guests with who can share their own stories. And I would say travel, but travel intentionally. Again, I would like to travel and give these public motivational talks, like all over the world. And I can see it. Also, it's about the visualization, like if you can imagine that, that means that it's possible. You just need to put some effort also. You can't just sit and manifestate it, you just need to do some actions. So, and I would love to have more new friends, I would say, with who we can create something meaningful, again, like maybe at a podcast, maybe something, just, yeah. And travel, as I said, and I don't have so much desires right now. I would say I'm very satisfied about everything what's going on right now, really. As you see, before, like all these private jets, parties, instant gratification, attention, I just want to make sure that I do everything from my soul, not from my ego. This is my main question. That's why I'm asking myself every day, are you acting from your ego or from your soul? Are you looking for instant gratification, or you just do it because you really want to do it? I'm parenting myself almost every day. That's what Kabbalah teach me to do. And I think you know about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's amazing. And what was it like for that whole like night party life and producing events?
Yeah. At that time, I thought it's amazing life. I thought that's how I would like to live all my life till the end of my days. I travel all over the world. I knew the all famous DJs. I was always on the guest list, private jets, like all this luxury, glamorous, beautiful life, like, and I make the good money. I always had like up to 1,000 people in my events. Then I start doing upscale, more intimate events, but still it was people know me. And I would say, I was thinking that it's the best time in my life because a lot of people knew me. They told me how grateful they are. But right now, when I start to be sober and I start studying the Kabbalah, I start learning about the ego. And I realized how much ego I had at that moment when I was an event producer. Because when I lost everything, I felt so broken. Because where are these people who was telling me how good I am? Because I was so dependent on this attention. I was looking for this instant gratification. And then when I lost it, I felt so stressed, depressed, and I felt anxiety. So at that time, I felt so much fun, so great. And as I said, I thought I'm going to live my life all till the end of my life like that, till the end of my days. Yeah, but I would say it was kind of the same, parties, sleepless nights, but I was okay with that. And it's just like, I didn't think about another way to live. I just didn't see myself. I thought it's great. It's just going to be from Friday till Monday. Sometimes I could not sleep for 48 hours. I just like, I was partying a lot. And again, I met so many beautiful souls there. I'm not saying that people are bad there or worse than in another world. It's just so different, and I don't judge anyone, but it's just not aligned with me anymore. And again, what inspired me to write the book, what about that people should know that there's so much more beautiful things in the life than just partying, doing drugs, you know? So, yeah.
What do you remember about the greatest event that you had?
Oh, I think it was the first one. I did it with my business partner, and I don't have any education for that to create the events. Like I was a photographer for 10 years, but one of my friends from San Diego, he wants to make a party in Los Angeles, and he knew that I know a lot of DJs. I have a lot of like connections because I was very social. I knew a lot of people, and he asked me, "Can you introduce me to this DJ? Oh, can you introduce me to any of the DJs who can bring a lot of people?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can, but I would love to be business partners with you." So without any experience, and he had an experience before, he didn't do anything big like that, but we actually were planning to make an event like maybe for 250 people, 300 people max. And we reached out one of the DJ. He's very famous, well-known DJ in Los Angeles, and so we made an agreement. We found the place. We found bartenders. We start creating the whole idea, like, and again without zero experience. And 3 days before, we could see that the ticket sales don't go very well, But at that point, I didn't know that the ticket sales the best at the day of the event. And I'm like, what should we do? We're gonna lose a lot of money, but it's okay. Like what can I do, right? And then in the day of the event, we could see that we one of the top event on the website where it says which event will be on this Friday or Saturday. And so in the end, we have 900 people. We were sold out. And it was Halloween party. Everyone was dressed well. It was so much fun. It was so beautiful. And I remember how I felt so proud of us, of myself, that look at these 900 people. They're here. They have so much fun. They're smiling. They're dancing. And this is because of us. We created this. And I guess, this was really the most memorable moment about the events because it was my first time. And I remember in the next day, I would just walk outside in the street. I was I was just with the chin up, I was so proud. I just remembered how many people it was, so much fun, and then so many people texted to us, "You guys amazing, you just kill it," and I'm like, wow, we made it, So it was my first time experience, and people ask me, "Are you sure it's your first event? Because how you brought all of these people here?" And I guess it's just when you do everything from your heart and from your soul, the energy just feels around. People feel it, and I don't know, it's just magic happened. Yeah, it was a big success. Yeah.
That's awesome. And where did you want to take it from there? Like, what were you wanting to do next after that event?
Oh, so we did another few events, and we continue. We did it for before the New Year's. Then we did it on the Valentine's Day. It was also so many people. It was a great production. My business partner, he was a very creative person, and he was, I would say, he would lead this part. I was more like social, talk with everyone, like DJs, promoters, staff, and he did the creative part. He brought some actors. We did some immersive experience, so it was not just like a dance party. It was also immersive experience. People who didn't want to dance, they can go to some rooms and had some immersive experience. Yeah, but then COVID happened. And but then me and my two best friends at that time, we created another brand, and we did beautiful gatherings in the desert during the COVID time. It was kind of real like underground desert parties, and it was a very beautiful time, and like 250 people and 400 people in the desert. and we brought international DJs, and it was a beautiful time because so many people were so depressed during the COVID time because we were not allowed to go out, hanging out with friends, and was our free space. We even call it to be free. So everyone could be free to dance, to hang out with people, to meet new friends. And I know a lot of people actually from our events. Now they are couples. Now they have kids, get married. So it was a very beautiful. We did it for a year. We did it for the year. We did like a mini festival for 2 days, 2 nights. It was very beautiful, and we were thinking to grow and make it more and more. And then I started doing more upscale private events in the beautiful mansions in Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills for like 200 people. Was also very beautiful, interesting experience, and I would say another kind of circle of people, but yeah, it was very beautiful. It was a beautiful, fun time.
And who were you at this time, and what effect did that have on you and your ego and how you carried yourself
Who I were at that time?
at that time?
Right now, I can see who I were. I was person with a lot of insecurities, with such a big ego, who need this instant gratification, who needed this approval from other people. I thought, oh, I'm such a beautiful soul. I'm making people so happy, and I did, but I had my agenda. Like I just realized it now. At that time, I really didn't think like I'm so selfish. I thought this is who I am, but right now I understand that I was so dependent on that people will come over to me, will say how grateful they are, and also, of course, I felt like I'm famous, people know me, and like I have this opinion about myself that I'm so cool. I'm so cool, and I made it such a big meaning about myself. Like if compare for right now, it's two different persons. It's such a different personality who I am right now. But yeah, at that time I had so much ego. It was so important for me to get this good response, to get the good feedback, and just to make sure that I'm the best. Yeah.
What was the experience like at these events for you?
Like, what do you mean?
Like being at these events, like you're coordinating them, people are there
Yeah,
to see you, they're there, you're hosting,
yeah,
and everybody's around, whether they're
yeah,
dancing or
yeah.
partying or getting together. What are you thinking while all this is going on?
I felt very happy, for sure. Still, even I had so much ego, but for me, it was the biggest priority that my guests, they have a fun, they have a great time. That's why people saying that I'm a great host, because I really like to host people. It even like now I'm doing another events like Kabbalah event, but I love hosting people. I love to serve them. I love to make sure that they really feel comfortable. They have a great time. And this was still my priority number one. But at the same time, I feel very powerful. I feel that power, that I like, again, that people know me, people come over to me, they want to be friends with me, But now again, I'm asking myself, did they want to be friends with me because they really like my personality, or just because they felt that power and they want to be around this power, And because I know I'm not very easy person. I was not very easy person. Maybe now I'm better, but and just now I have a lot. I don't have questions, but if to think about it, I don't know if people really were sincere, and yeah, but I felt so much fun. I was so happy for people that they had fun, but at the same time, I had so many insecurities, like I felt that am I good enough, and I felt are they gonna like me later, because for me it was so important to have this attention. So I was addicted to that, so I was looking for this instant gratification all the time. Yeah.
Where do you feel like the need for that attention and instant gratification came from?
The need
Yeah.
from where it came, I would say maybe from even my childhood. I don't know, because a lot of things comes from the childhood, and since I was 7 years old, I would say I was like a little warrior Nadi. I was fighting for my life. Like I lost my mom when I was 7 years old, and I grow up with my dad. He's a very strong and powerful man, and I love him so much. And I guess I got so many good qualities from him, but still, I would say always during all my life, I would say I was fighting. I was, yeah, I was fighting that people will see me, like, and usually it happened. And a lot of people I know, they respect me for what I'm doing, which I like. I would prefer to be more a person who respect me than just they like me how I look. So yeah, and yeah, I think a lot of insecurities comes from your childhood. Yeah, but we need to ask my psychologist about that.
So, what was it like for you growing up? You said you lost your mom at 7 years old.
Yeah.
What did the next few years look like for you after that?
Oh. Um. I was 7 years old, and when you're in this age, I would say it's easier, I guess, to go through that because I don't remember her at all. So she passed away when I was 7 years old, and it's easier to say I didn't have a mom. I don't know what is this to have a mom, and it is what it is. So in the next years, they were just like really like I even didn't know that I had a mom, I would say, like I didn't have this, oh, I miss my mommy, when can I see her? I didn't have that. I just accepted I don't have my mom anymore, and now I have my dad. I have my nanny for a year, and then my dad, he met another woman, she became my stepmother. Yeah, but my dad, he took care about me. Like I was in a good school, I had everything in my childhood, and he had a lot of good conversations with me about life since I was 7 years old. So it was not just like a talk with a child. We talk about life, We talk about some deep conversation, deep topics. Yeah, and yeah. So I would say it's just this is the moment when I become an adult. I would say 7 years old. Yeah.
And going through that, the process of becoming an adult, going through your teenage years, what do you remember wanting to do or striving for? Like, who is Nadi going to be when she's an adult in your eyes at that time?
I want to be a journalist.
Okay.
And when I was a child, actually, I wrote so many like short essays, like books. And I remember how I printed them at home and brought them to my classmates. I just give them the printing copy. And they were so sad because I think it was based that my mom, she passed away. But again, that's funny. I just remember about that because again, I just wrote my book, and I had such a big passion to write the stories, and even like some posts in my social media. And that's actually what I was dream of, when I was a child. I want to be a journalist, but my dad, he told me that I'm from Russia, and he said that in Russia it's not very respectful job. He wanted me to be a lawyer, and he had some connections, and he said, go to law school, you're going to get the education, and everything will be happen in a good way. I will take care about you. So I finished the law school, but I never been a lawyer even for a second. Yeah, and but yeah, this was one of my biggest dream, that I want to be a journalist. I want to write the stories. Yeah.
What do you remember about law school?
About law school? What about the law school? I didn't. I mean, I, how to say it? I didn't like it. I would say, I didn't like to be in school. I didn't. I like. I was like more a street smart person, like but I was in the best in the best law school in Russia. President finished this law school. I was surrounded by very rich kids. And when I was 18 years old, I was driving G-Wagon, my dad's G-Wagon. It was cool environment again. With some of maybe two people I'm in touch, but I lost connection with all of them. And I was always by my own. I was a kid who always don't need a company, always. That's why I guess I still feel very confident I can spend a lot of time with myself. And it's not because I don't have friends. I have a lot of beautiful people around me. And when I feel like I would like to hang out with someone, I'm reach them out. But mostly I really spend time with myself. I feel I can go to the dinner by myself. So, and back to the university, I really I have I have some love story with with our teacher, and he broke my heart completely. I guess I can say it after 20 years. Even like it was not legal at the time, but it's more illegal for him than for me, but yeah, we have some kind of love story with this teacher, and then he broke my heart, and I really was so unhappy, I would say, in this moment. So yeah, but I just finished it. I finished this law school, and then I moved to Moscow, really, and I never spent any second to be a lawyer. Yeah.
And what was the path like to decide that you wanted to come to the United States?
The path. I just came here as a tourist, and I was a photographer at that time, and didn't plan to stay here, I would say. And but then the life just started bringing me beautiful people, beautiful stories, and I started thinking, okay, let me stay a little bit longer. Even when I left Moscow, I didn't say. I just say to my friends, okay, bye. I have a flight tomorrow. See you in 2 weeks. My clothes was in my apartment. Like I was planning to come back. Yeah, and then just I would say again, magic happened as always in my life. And long story short, I just realized that I want to stay here, and I stay here, and I'm already a citizen for the last 2 years, which I'm proud of. I think it's one of my best decisions to be here. Yeah,
What was the process like of becoming a citizen?
it was interesting. I would say I'm lucky, and I would say it's some private stuff. I would not like to share about that, but I was again in the short version. I was very lucky. I got it like in 5 years. I was already not in five. I would say in 6 7 years. I already got my citizenship. Like I know a lot of people. They waiting for just 10 years to get the interview. So just everything, and again, lucky me. Yeah.
What did your dad think when you wanted to stay out here in the US?
My dad, I actually didn't ask him what he think. He just saw me that I'm happy. And he said, you happy? I'm happy. This is your choice. But he missed for me, We didn't see each other for 9 years. And I would love to see him, but because of the situation between Russia and United States is not very, I would say, healthy. It's just not very safe for me to go back to my hometown. But that's the plan. I would like to go in the end of May. It's my dad's birthday in June, and it's one of the most beautiful time in St. Petersburg where I was born. We have white nights and so romantic time. So I wish I can go, but let's see. Let's see. I always do things based on my intuition. Not everything, of course, like logically, of course, and practical, but also how I feel. If I would feel it's safe, I would go. Yeah, it's just like so many obstacles why it can be problem. Even I was born there, even I'm United States citizen, like it's just so many obstacles. Yeah.
And when you first got here to the US, what was the plan? What did you want to do?
So the first time when I got to United States, it was when I was 21. So when I decided to stay here, I was 27. So what's the question about the first time when I decided to stay here? When I first time when I came to United States, what do you want to ask? What do you want to know? Because the first time I got here when I was 21. So what is the question?
Well, first time when you got here when you were 21, what was that like?
Oh, I thought like I'm in the movie. Yeah, I went to New York for the Christmas, and I felt like I'm in the movie and Home Alone, I would say, and it feels so big, huge, like, but I never thought to stay to live here because it feels. I know I even didn't think about it, but then when even I was thinking about it, I was thinking, no, it's not so easy. It's very hard. Like it's not possible. Basically, I thought, it was my like my statement in my head, like, no, it's not possible, I'm just going to come over as a tourist here. Yeah, but I had such a good time, and then I came to New York again in the next year again for the Christmas time. It was like a tradition. And then I came to Los Angeles in the next year. And I remember it was so funny. I said, Los Angeles is such a big village and never will come here again. Like New York is my vibes, my energy, like big city life. But here you are. I live in Los Angeles and I love it. It's my home. I love New York, but I guess not for living. Yeah. Los Angeles is my home.
And when did you first feel like this can be home?
When I get my green card, I feel safe. I feel good. No, really, I would say, let's say like that. I'm very lucky person on having such beautiful people around me. And when I decided to stay here in Los Angeles, someone told me, wait for 3 years. After 3 years, you will decide for sure if it's your place. Because in 3 years, so many things happening, and it's true. After 3 years, I start doing events, and I just felt like, wow, this is my home, this is my place. I feel so safe here. Even I didn't have a green card at that time, but I feel like at home. Yeah. But again, green card make a big difference. Like again, you feel like, yeah, you have more more legal reason to stay here. Yeah.
And then when you started jumping into the events, what was that like?
Like what? What's
When you started jumping into the events, you started feeling at home.
Yeah.
You started feeling more comfortable. You started doing the events.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Oh, I felt so confident. I feel so safe, and I feel like I'm at home. I felt like I have so many beautiful souls around me. I really met so many beautiful people at that time. Again, yes, I would not do some of these parts, like doing drugs, sleepless nights. But again, it's such a beautiful people there. It's just their choice how they would like to spend their time. And I felt very happy. Yeah, I felt very happy and fun. But again, don't forget, I was in a different state of mind. Like I was younger, different state of mind. I was not very sober, let's call it like that. Yeah.
What do you think started that?
When I think what?
Started you not being very sober?
when I was thinking to start not to be sober. Oh, yes.
Yeah. When do you think the substance
Oh,
problems kind of began?
when it's okay, it's a good question. I would say, it's a good question. Let me think. I would say when I just had so much money in some point that I don't need to count them. And it's just like, I can just spend as much as I want for drugs, and just why not if I can? and it just was unlimited, and I was just surrounded by people who also can just give it to me like that. And again, I felt like I'm a rock star, yeah, let me just wake up, do bump of coke, then I will go to breakfast to some fancy place, but actually I don't want to eat because I already do some coke, but still I'm gonna get some breakfast, like it was like really interesting lifestyle, yeah. But the biggest problem was, I would say, for the last 6 months before I decided to become sober, 6 months, I lost my money, I lost my success, and I lost myself, and I thought that drugs gonna make me feel inspired. They're gonna bring me some new ideas, but what it brought for me just so much paranoia, so many insecurities, so many doubts. And again, I didn't look good. I actually looked so unhealthy. And the most important part, as I said, I just stopped respect myself. And for me, to respect is one of the most important thing. If I don't respect myself, what's the point of living? In some point, I even was thinking, what's the point of living? I didn't think so bad about the suicide, but in some point I thought maybe I need to take antidepressants, but I talked with my psychiatrist and he said, no, you don't need this, you just need this and that. So we avoided. But I really didn't see the purpose of my life because I lost that success. I lost this instant gratification moments, and I didn't see another way of living. But there's another way of living. There is, but I didn't see at that moment. But I opened the door when I decided to be sober.
That's awesome. And what did it feel like when you realized you lost all that money?
At that moment, I felt devastating. I felt crushed. I felt, oh, now I'm nothing. I felt like, oh, now nobody wants to be friends with me. Oh, now I don't have respect. I felt so weak. All of these insecurities. I felt depressed. I felt not cool. All bad thoughts that person could have, I felt it. Yeah, and I lost my lifestyle. I lost everything. I live in such a beautiful place. I had a nice sport car. I have a lot of money, unlimited, and then I lost everything in one moment, and I felt so bad. But I'm very grateful for that because I have much more now. I have my peace, and I have my sobriety, and because if I'm never gonna have that moment, if I'm never gonna lost that, I will never will be here right now in this studio and talking with you, which I really enjoy, and I feel like it's my new mission, as I said before, also to inspire people and to show them that the life can be very different, and now I really can say that the happiness is not about money. Money is good; they can give you some a lot of beautiful things. I love nice things still, but your emotional sobriety, your state of mind is much more important than all of these instant gratification things, all of these beautiful things. I know a lot of rich people who had so much money. And if you look at them in their Instagram, they look like, oh, wow, they live a best life. Actually, these people, they are the most people who lost. They are not so happy. They are not in the peace with themselves. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And so now I don't feel any sadness about that. I'm so happy again. I'm so grateful that I had this in my life because right now I'm not gonna sell my soul, my heart, my personality for these things. I have my boundaries, I have my preferences, and I have my sobriety. That's the most important thing, and which helps me to make more consciousness decisions. Yeah.
It sounds like you've got yourself something that money can't buy. It sounds like you've got something that money can't buy.
I would say yes, money can buy your Well, I mean, money can buy you freedom, but peace, yeah, again, money is good. I still would love to make money, like it's good. Like I would like to travel. I would like to help people. I would like to create some nonprofit organization and make some, maybe also podcast studio, and for all of this, you need money to pay other people who will help you to create that. But right now, I don't want to have money to get this expensive clothes, to have a sport car. I become much more humble. Again, thanks to Kabbalah. That's how I met you, by the
Yeah.
way. Yeah, Kabbalah made me, you know, there's the phrase like, all my previous desires now, like, it's a big joke, really. And this is so a big true because when I wrote down all my goals for the 2026, and then I compare it with my goals, which I wrote a year ago, Ben, to be honest, I was shocked because I completely forgot about what I wrote down. And when, first of all, for 2026, it was only like 44 points, 44 things that I would like to do. And it was about, I want to help people. I want to do this for people. I want this. So the last year, it was almost 100 thoughts, the things that I would like to do. And it was all about me. I want I want clothes for me. I want this bag for me. I want to be famous. I want to be this. Me. It's all about me. And I was so shocked. I'm like, wow, how selfish I was. I mean, again, there's nothing bad. You have your ambitions, you have your goals. But I think it was zero said about that I want to do something for others. And I'm glad that I have this on my like I can see what I wrote a year ago because I can compare, and I could see how I changed. I changed a lot, and I'm really, I would say I was so proud of myself, because it's a beautiful change. Because I don't want to be like the version of me that was a year ago. It's so beautiful to help other people, and to inspire them, and it's beautiful to think about others than just about yourself. Because when you think about others, others will think about you. It's about the mutualism. It's about we're taking about each other. Yeah, but it took me a time to get to this point. Yeah. But I'm glad that I'm here right now.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What do you feel like you can do to honor the person that you were? The person that you look at today and you're like, I'm not this person anymore.
Yeah.
What can you do to send her love and encouragement and support?
The first thing just came in my head. I would say just spread that light that I have inside me. And again, to share my journey with others. This really will make me so happy. This is really only one mission in my life right now, what I feel like I would like to do. And that's why I wrote the book. And that's why I'm planning to make a podcast. And first of all, to share about my journey, but then start to invite people and that where they can share their experience, their journey to help others. And this is the way how I will show myself that, Nadi, I'm so proud of you. And now let's spread this light, let's share this journey with others. Because I can feel how much pain the world handle it, how much pain through how much pain people go through. Because a lot of people actually reaching me out on Instagram and social media like, Nadi, because I'm sharing about my sobriety very openly. I don't feel ashamed about that at all because look at me right now. I look great, and like I'm talking right now with you in this podcast. I wrote the book. I'm not like this person who continued that lifestyle. So, and again, I believe I became much more better as a person. So, and I want to show people like, hey, this is what I did before and now who I am right now. And yeah, And I would love to continue to share about that. And if it will help even to one person, it will be amazing. And people asking me that, hey, thank you so much for sharing about your journey. And I have these struggles. I don't know how to quit. Da, 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 da. And like, wow, this is so beautiful. People who I knew for 8 years would never talk about that. A lot of men, girls, everyone share with me their stories. That's why also it's inspired me to become a life coach. Right now I'm starting to be a certificate life coach. In 2 months I will get my certificate, and I mean, I feel like already I can help people, but it's just like, and some new knowledges. And yeah, that just people start reaching me out and inspire me that this is what I can do. This is how what I can continue to do in my life, And as I said, this is the biggest mission right now in my life.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Now that you live from the soul rather than from the ego, how do you approach life?
What do you mean exactly? Can you ask me more specifically?
Yeah, like what is how do you go about living your life
Yeah,
now that you look at things from a soul perspective
right.
rather than an ego perspective?
As I said, I feel very satisfied. And I believe that, look, we're very happy people. Like we healthy. Okay, let me talk about myself, because you asked me about me, myself. Like, I'm healthy. I can talk. I can see things. I can feel it. I can write things. I have place to live. I have a nice place to live. I have my car. I can drive wherever I want. I have all opportunities to create. This is only what I need. Really, as I said, all my desires that I had before, they're now like a really like a big, huge joke, because they're not gonna make me happy. What makes me happy? To express myself, to share my light with others, and again, to inspire other people that, hey, the life can be much better. You are not alone. You're not broke. Like, everything is possible. This is how Nadi, who's acting from the soul, I would say, feeling right now. Yeah, like, yeah, I'm not chasing anymore like all these beautiful luxury things, because I had them and they didn't make me happy. I love beautiful things, but if it's meant to be, I will have them. If not, so I don't need them. Easy. I'm very easy with that right now. The most, the biggest, the most important thing for me is my peace. Even not happiness, because sometimes it's good to be not happy, because on the dark we can see the light. But the peace is the most important thing for me. So if I'm in peace, that's only what I want. That's only what I need.
You talked about traveling when you were going and doing the events, private jets,
Yeah.
making a ton of money. What was
Yeah.
that like?
Was so much fun. Was so much fun. I mean, private jazz was just when I traveled with my friends. Like, it was not related to the events. Yeah, events, it was just in Los Angeles, in California. Yeah, but private jazz was with my friends. We travel, we stay in the yacht, all this. Again, I'm so grateful that I had this in my life. Really, I'm not gonna regret any of that. I'm so happy, grateful. That's a good memory, so much fun. Yeah, that's what can I tell you. But do I miss for that? No, I had that. I want something new. I want something different. I want to go to climb on Everest. I want to go to, I don't know, do some maybe blind retreat. I don't know. I want to do, because why I will want to do the same things? Like, I'm this kind of person. I don't go to the same country where I was. So I already went through that. I believe we all we all have our own movie, and during this movie we have different roles. At that time I had that role: successful event producer, all this luxury life, amazing. Before that, I was a photographer, immigrant, didn't have anything. Before that, I live in Russia, and like it's so many different roles. Right now, it's the role of me who acting from the soul, who wants to inspire other people, who want to help them. So I don't miss for that at all. Yeah. And I'm sure that the best things just come. Just they're coming. Yeah.
Nice. By the way, the cool thing about that is, you got that down, Nick? Cool thing about that is it's funny. Like I ask you about that, right? That's so many people's dream.
Exactly.
The yachts, the private jets,
Yes.
the money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Look, I live.
talking about that
Yeah.
is like you
No.
had more to say about what you learned from it than the experience itself. And that was likely an experience that you at a certain point in time
Exactly.
would have wanted. Like this is my dream. Like I am living my dream.
And to be honest, like I got at that point what I wanted. I really wanted at that moment to have this kind of life. I really like, oh, if I'm gonna live just like that. But you know what? Be afraid of your wishes, because when you will get them, and I really was thinking, I just want to have fun, I want to have this, I want to have that, and of course doing drugs, but it's not the problem, but it became in the end, it's even not the problem, it was another life experience. Nothing is the problem. Not, everything is just a beautiful challenge, I would say, which shows you how far you can grow, or you can stay. You can stay in this lifestyle, but I decided to try a new experience. It always was the choice. Really, when I decided to be sober, I really was thinking just for the month, and just an experience. But then I like it. I'm like, oh, let me do it again, because at that experience I was 8 years. I did drugs for 8 years. Not every day, but for the last 6 months, every day, right? But every weekend I did drugs. I got this. I already knew these people. I knew that places. I knew these DJs. I already know this music. I want something new. So, and at that point, yes, I lived like a dream life. Like really, like everyone just asking me, "Oh, you probably can't believe that you have that." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I knew that I'm gonna have this or nothing. Like I just was sure that I deserve it, and probably I did. If I had this, but I already had this. Now I want something new. I want something different. And I will be honest with you. Sometimes still I just think, oh, my life is not so much fun right now as was before, because before it was so much stimulations. Now my life is much more grounded, so calm, so peaceful. No these stimulations, no instant gratification. But I'm in peace. I can stay at home all weekend, read my books, watch movies, play with my cats, just like not doing anything, just go for the walk, go to sleep at 10 p.m. Especially in the beginning, I was thinking, maybe I do something wrong. That's about what my book is about. It's staying with real you, staying without any substances, staying with all your real layers, even the layers you didn't know that they exist. And this is a very beautiful journey. Yeah. Where do you see yourself during this year? What is your goals? What is your dreams? What you would like to achieve?
During this year, 2026.
Yeah, correct. By the end of this year, where you see yourself? What are you doing? Where are you?
It's such an interesting one because I think about this a lot.
Would you like to share it?
It's, the nice thing I've learned is whether you'd like to share something or not doesn't really matter, because the fact that the question comes up means it's meant to be put out into the world.
Exactly.
And whether I'd like to share or not really doesn't matter. The reality of the situation is I'm going to. And it's interesting. I've done different vision board exercises, different visualizations, different thoughts, different manifestations, different goals. 2026 is an interesting year for me because I'm now living this year as a 30-year-old man. My company that I started in 2016, Golden State Memorabilia, will be turning 10 years old.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And Golden State Memorabilia was my dream when I was a kid. And I thought it was incredible and really powerful for me to start that business when I did, because when I was a kid, I would go to basketball games and I would collect autographs from players. And I did that and I loved it. And there was something so much deeper about the meaning of an autograph for me. Like you see a Kobe Bryant autograph on the wall. And you see there's Taylor Swift, there's Quentin Tarantino right here.
Taylor.
I know, right? And the thing for me about getting autographs when I was a kid, and I didn't know this then, but I know this now, is I was looking to connect to other human beings. I struggled with connection when I was a kid. And I couldn't really connect with my peers. I couldn't really connect with teachers, couldn't connect with anyone really. But if you were famous, if you were an athlete, if you were a celebrity, a musician, and I had an opportunity to meet you and ask for an autograph, that was a form of human connection for me. And the reason I admired these people, these athletes, these celebrities, musicians, and going and wanting to get their autographs for them, and this is the part I couldn't name then, but I understand now, is because they chased their dreams. They were in their authenticity.
Right.
Anybody who plays basketball in the NBA went after what was aligned for them and what they were meant to do in life and what they wanted to do in life, and they chased their dreams. And for me to be able to connect with those people when I was 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, it meant the world. And because I got to connect with them, I wanted to chase my dreams. And throughout all these years in my childhood, I kept going. I kept collecting autographs from players. I collected thousands of autographs, met hundreds, if not thousands of different athletes, celebrities, musicians would get their autographs. That inspired me to go and chase my dreams, which was, how do I share that with people? How do I share that connection? How do I share that connection? Every autograph is a connection. We have a Kobe Bryant framed jersey on the wall. That's a connection to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was such a powerful soul who lived on this earth and inspired so many people.
Right.
And I sit here and I look at this journey of having this dream and starting this business. And kind of like you're saying, not just starting, but staying in business for the last 10 years. 2026 for me is about stepping into my next dream. And that is where I get to be the person who's chased my dreams, who gets to inspire the people who don't yet know that they want to chase their dreams.
Right.
So the person who's that young 6-year-old Ben, that young 13-year-old Ben, the young 16-year-old Ben, the young 20-year-old Ben who decided to chase his dream and start the business, I get to be that person now who's saying, hey, I'm going to share about what my journey was like.
Beautiful.
So you can step into your journey and live in your authenticity and chase your dreams and ultimately live your most aligned life. And that's what I feel like my 2026 is going to be. And I'm excited for it.
I think it's very powerful and beautiful. And you do it great. You already inspire a lot of people, including me. So just keep going. Stay on this mode and keep doing that. You do it really very good.
Amazing. Thank you, Nadi.
You're welcome.
What do you hope that somebody takes away from reading, staying, and hearing your story?
Yeah. I hope that people who will read this book, they will feel like, oh, I want to try it. They will get inspired. Let me try actually about what Nadi says in this book, because I also it's not just I'm sharing about my life experience. I'm sharing about all things that I did which helped me to stay, to quit and to stay in my emotional sobriety, and I really hope that when someone gonna read about that, they will feel like, okay, let me try, because like that was the point, that people will get inspired, they will feel excited, they're like, oh, that's interesting, let me try. They will follow even maybe few of the things that I share, maybe not all of them. I'm talking about meditation there. I'm talking about my vision board. I'm talking about a lot of routine, what I start doing, which helped me to stay. And I still do all this routine every day, meditation, walks, and like all of them. So this is really only one hope, that someone will get inspired to even not to change themselves, to come back to the real version of themselves.
I love that. And where can our audience connect with you, and where can they pick up their copy of Staying and find out more about you and learn more about you?
Right. So I just published this today. It's on my website, nadimoss.com. And right on the first page, they can see that they can get this. It's a digital book, only 40 pages. To be honest, I even didn't think that it's going to be a book. Yeah, I thought it's just going to be like some PDF file with some tasks for people, what they can do. But then when I start writing down, I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I have so much to say. And then like 5, 10, 15, 20, and then it's just 40 pages. So they can get it there. And I hope really someone will get inspired by that.
I love that. Well, connect with Nadi on nadimoss.com. Check out her book and really her guide for living a peaceful and fulfilled life.
In an emotional sobriety. How to stay in emotional sobriety. Yeah, because sobriety is not just about the substances. Again, it's easy to. It's the first step is to quit, but the next one is to stay with real version of you. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, definitely check it out. And I really enjoyed having you on today, Nadi.
I really enjoyed it too, Ben. Thank you so much. By the way, it's my first podcast, 101 in person. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for bringing me to this beautiful journey. And I wish you a big success with your podcast in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. So great having you.
Thank
you. And if anything Nadi said today resonates with you, please share this episode with your friends. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. We'd really appreciate it if you subscribed to our channel at The Authentic Journey Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Beeri, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Authentic Journey.